Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm starting a new series on my channel today, and it's going to be all about my eyeshadow collection. Normally people would do this in a video, but as I have over 300 eyeshadow palettes, there's no way I can do that in an episode. So what I've decided to do is break it down into brands. So the brands I have a lot of palette from, there will be one video, and I'll pull together some other palettes if I don't have as much from that particular brand. So it could be a collection of palettes from like over 4 to 5 brands. But today we are going to be talking about my Juvias Place palettes. So I have quite a few Juvias Place palettes. Juvias Place is an indie brand and is owned by a woman who is from Nigeria. She's a fellow Nigerian like me, so I'm very proud to support her, and I have all her palettes. And it's not just about supporting her. Juvias Place is one of the best brands that make the best eyeshadow palettes ever, and this is not a biased opinion. Our palettes are pigmented, they are of high quality, and they are also good value for money. She's always having sales, and the sales are not because our palettes or our products are rubbish. They are real. I have a lot of their products. I have the foundation, quite a few apart from the eyeshadow palette, but their eyeshadow palettes are just so good. They are really good, both the mattes, the shimmers. If you really want to invest, or you starting to build your eyeshadow palette, you really want to look into Juvia's Place. So this is not going to be a biased opinion at all. I will tell you the palettes I like based on whatever I don't like. I like them, and with whichever ones I don't like as well. It's not a ratings video, but I will tell you my opinion about most of these palettes, so you know what you are getting yourself into. Okay, so I'm gonna start from, it's not really in order of what they are released, but it's in order of the names. So I'm gonna start from their Nubian palette. So they've got 3 Nubian palette. They've got Nubian 1, Nubian 2, and Nubian 3. So this is the first Nubian palette, and it's mainly a neutral eyeshadow palette. So this is what it looks like. So it's really browns and your dark browns, really. So it's a mixture of both mattes and shimmers. So it's not really my, in the days when I first started collecting eyeshadows, yeah, maybe I did use them, but I can't remember the last time I picked up this palette. And the next one is the Nubian 2 palette, and this is what it looks like. And one thing about Juvia's Place as well is their artwork on their palettes. It's just gorgeous. It's like African princesses. I love it. Okay, and this is what Nubian 2 looks like. I quite like this one. It's a mixture. It's got like 1 or 2 cool shades in there, but at best is a mixture of warm palettes and warm shades. Especially I like this one. This is my best color there, and I like the orange over there and this other orange here as well. Yeah, it's a good one, but I've had new ones after this, so this is kind of like gone to the back of my collection. Right, and then Nubian 3 is the coral version, so it's called Nubian 3 Coral. So it's mainly a mixture of coral shades. This is kind of like cool toned. I really don't like cool toned eyeshadows, but I did like this one because it's got orange. Orange is one of my favorite shades. If you don't know, my favorite shades are brown, red, and orange, and this has got orange and browns in them, so I kind of like them. I like to use the silver as my inner corner highlights. Don't know if you can see, and that is a really pretty shade. And I'll swatch the darker one as well. So they are both silver, but they are quite different in tones, and that's Nubian 3. Okay, moving on to the next one, which will be the Warrior collection. So this is the Warrior 1. Warrior 1 is an all matte, no, actually it's a mixed it's a mixture of matte and shimmers. Trying not to blind you with reflection. Okay, this is what Warrior 1 looks like. And it's overall, if you are a beginner and you don't like colorful shades, then you would love this one. It's so mild, although you've got that dark brown there, but it's only by choice, just to darken your outer corner, or if you wanted to use it as an eyeliner, then you could use that. But it's pretty much very cool, calm shades, very nice. You can use some of the golden ones like this one, you can use it as an highlighter as well. That's what I like about Juvia's Place palettes. It's not limiting. You can use it as anything that you want. You can use the colorful ones as blush, you know, whatever you want to do. Then this is the Warrior 2, and this is the one that is an all matte palette. And I love this one because I use these ones as blush sometimes. You could use this one as bronzer, even though they are eyeshadows. You could use them for anything that you want. They are quite versatile. That's what I like about them. And they are really pigmented. So if you do lay your hands on any one of these, just be careful when you're applying them, because if you think they're like any other palette, before you know it, your eyes is gone all over, you know, it's gone out of control. And this is the Warrior 3. So this is what Warrior 3 looks like. I mean, as you can see, the Warrior 1 and Warrior 2, they were more of a neutral palette, but the Warrior 3 is a colorful one. And again, look at the artwork. Just beautiful, gorgeous. Based on the packaging alone is enough to purchase these palettes. And then looking inside, it's just beautiful. I mean, you can be calm about this. This has got like a mixture of in your face shades and some light shades as well. I mean, even if you don't love colors, you can use that orange one and this, and then use the green ones and the purple and pink as a pop of color, maybe on your under your eyes. So that's Warrior Nubian. We've gone through the Nubian series, the Warrior series. This is the Zulu palette, and it's quite a colorful one. I mean, I don't often eat pan on any shade because I've got too many eyeshadow palettes. And look at that, I've eat pan on that. That tells you that that shade is really nice and it goes well on the eyes, easy to blend. That's another thing about their palettes. Even though they are pigmented, they are so easy to blend, and you know, you don't tend to waste time. So I love a combination of these two, and that's why this one is kind of like I've hit pan on that, because those two, when I'm just in a hurry to go anywhere, I'll put that all over my lid, put that shimmer on, and then use a little bit of the purple to darken the outer corner, and then I'm out of the house. And this row, I love this row. Orange and browns and red, every single time they get me. And sometimes I will use the green as a pop of color just underneath my eye over there. And the next one is the Douce palette. This not really a favorite at all, because I don't know, it's kind of light. I mean, sometimes I do use some of the shades, but overall it's very mild. Yeah, and I love pop of colors. So these are, if I'm going somewhere where I don't really want my eyes to kind of like be speaking, then I would use this, but I don't tend to reach it too often. Alright, and next is the Festival palette. This is what the Festival palette looks like. I love the Festival palette because it's got red in it. And as you can see, I've hit pan on that pink one again. I love this palette, especially this top row over here. This, it's got a bit of staining with the red and orange, but just look at that. That in the inner corner, oh, beautiful, beautiful, so nice. And let me swatch this yellow one as well. Their shimmers are just so nice. Whether you wet them or you don't wet them, they are really good. And next is the Magic palette. I have the big ones. They've discontinued the big one now. They just have the one that is like this size, but I mean, I bought the big ones, and this is what I have. This again is a nice palette. The shimmers on this palette are, God, so nice and lovely, so pigmented and buttery. Then this is my favorite shade, that pink. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And these two over here, they're just so nice. Let me swatch that pink for you. Look at that. And that purple over here. Yeah, Juvia's Place, they don't joke. They don't come to joke at all. You have to be careful when you buy their palettes. They are just so pigmented and buttery. And this is what the Masquerade palette looks like. In all honesty, I don't like the name of this palette because I'm a Christian and Masquerade just does not sit well with me. So, but that's the name of it, is the Masquerade palette, and this is what it looks like. My best shade here is this blue. Look at that. Gorgeous, beautiful. And let's try this green one over here. They don't need any, you know, persuasion or anything. The shimmers, just you place them and they just kind of melt into your skin. All right. Okay, the next palette in my collection from Juvia's Place is the Saharan. So again, the Saharan, there's Saharan 1 and Saharan 2. So this is the Saharan 1, and this is what it looks like. So this is kind of like it's mainly the mattes in here are browns and oranges, and then you've got pops of colors in terms of shimmers. So you can just lay your base down as orange or brown, then the pops of colors just to kind of like enhance the palette. So it's pretty much calm. And if you're new to makeup and you just wanted an overall one, this would be a very good one, because you can still have your mild colors and then put pop of colors when you're comfortable, you know, either underneath your lid is the best way. If you really are not very comfortable with colors, that's the best way to really start, you know, getting used to colors. Underneath your lid and or inner corners, you can use any color in your inner corner just to give you like a pop, your eyes pop out, you know, even though you have like neutral colors all over your lids. And this is the Saran 2, which is my most used palette. And I'm pretty sure you'll probably be able to guess if you, I mean, from what I've said earlier, red, orange, and brown, they are my favorite shades, and that's what you have on this lower bit of this palette. The thing about this palette is you don't need a primer for it. I mean, most of our palettes as well, you don't need a primer. It's just because these are my favorite shades. So anytime I'm in a hurry or something, it's so easy for me to go to this palette because I love the colors and I love the blendability. You don't need eyeshadow primer. You just need to put them on your eyes and they blend well and they will last all day. And then the shimmers, don't even get me on the shimmers. I mean, look at that. And this. I mean, look at that. You within 5 minutes my eyes is done and I'm out of the house. I love this palette. It's my most used palette ever, and considering I have over 300 palette, that tells you something. It's how good this palette is. And then the next one in my collection is the Fumi palette. Again, this is the first collaboration they'll be having with any influencer, and this is what the palette looks like. Fumi is a YouTuber as well, and she collaborated with Juvia's Place, and this is what she came up with. This is actually her picture if you don't know her. Her name is spelled F-U-M-I, and you can search for her on YouTube. She's Nigerian as well. This is the palette she came up with, and this palette, I love it because it's not just an eyeshadow palette. You can use it as a face palette as well. Like I use all the shades as blushes. I don't tend to like purple blushes because it makes my face look bruised, but any of this I use as my blush, these three. And I also use this as an highlighter or blush topper, and this one as an inner corner highlight. It's so nice and it's so versatile. If you are so much in a hurry and you just want to grab one palette to do your whole face, then this will be a good idea, because then you can use it for your eyes and you can use it as a blush and highlight at the same time. Then I have two blush palette from them. I mean, that one, I mean the Fumi one, like I said, you can use as a blush and palette, but their main blush palette, this is the Saharan blush palette volume 1, and is more of a darker tone palette. So again, you've got your orange, your pink, and this is like is quite dark, which can be used as a contour shade, and this one you can use as a bronzer depending on what your skin tone is. But I use all of them interchangeably. Eyeshadow, whatever, blush, I use them all the time. This is the volume 1, like I said, and this is the volume 2, which is lighter. So it's the same idea. You've got your blush shades, and then you've got your highlight or blush topper shade. This I'm almost eating pan on that because I love orange. This on your skin, any of these two, then top with these ones in the middle. Oh, beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous. Let me swatch this one so you can see why. Can you see? That as a blush topper on top of any of these two oranges. It's beautiful. And one of my newer palettes from them is the Nomad palette. Yeah, this is not so much of a favorite because, like I said, I don't really like cool toned palettes, but this is not actually bad. It can be a bit surprising sometimes, you know, when you're applying your eyeshadows. What you end up with can be quite nice and surprising. I love the mustard shades over here, and with green underneath my eyes, or green on top of my eyes, and then I use that as my lower shade. It's quite nice. And this shimmer in the middle, it's so nice. It's like butter, really. When you put it on the lids, it's like you've put gloss all over your lid. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. But it's not one of my favorites, like I said. And then last of the big ones, actually not last, second to the last, I'm leaving my favorites to the last. This is the Afrique palette. Again, this is not one of my favorite because it's just pops of colors. There's really no correlation to the colors, so I don't like it because you can't use it on its own. I mean, brown and well, it doesn't really, I don't know, for some reason just doesn't speak to me. Sometimes I use 1 or 2 shades in there with another palette, but not on its own, so I don't often reach for this. There is a red that I've pulled out of that. I quite like the red, so I kind of took that out of the palette and put it in one of my singles palettes. Okay, and then they recently kind of branched out into like 6-pan palettes. They've never done 6 pans before. They started doing them 6 pans palettes, and they came out with 4. So there was this pink, there was a purple, and then 2 of the browns. So they are nude. This is like the chocolate nude, which is for darker skin people, and then the lighter one, I don't have them because that would never show up on my skin tone. As at the time I'm recording this, they've now come out with another 3 6-pan palettes, and I'll show you what they look like. So these are the latest in my collection, and this is the pink version, and I just like it because it's monochromatic. I love monochromatic looks. So you've got your pink in there, your burgundy or auburn if you like, then your dark pink, and then you've got your pink shimmer there. Can you see that shimmer? And then you've got your lighter shimmer. Okay, look how beautiful that is. So that's the pink 6-pan palette. Then going on to the purple palette, I've not actually used this too. They are the latest in my collection when it comes to Juvias Place. So this is like the purple lilac one, and as you can see, it's just beautiful. Again, it's monochromatic, so you start with this and then use that on your outer lid, and then use any of these shimmers in the middle. So this is got 2 mattes and 4 shimmers, but again, it never disappoints. Never disappoints. Look at that. They're just beautiful. She never disappoints. Alright, and then last of the 6-pan palette is the chocolate one, and that's what that looks like. So this is the chocolate palette. You can see, yeah. So it's just, I mean, there's nothing exciting about it, but if neutral looks are your thing, then you would love this. I mean, if you're going somewhere where a colorful look is not really appropriate, then I'm guessing this is this will be the appropriate palette. I really don't know anywhere that I go to that colorful look is not appropriate. I wear colorful looks everywhere, even to work, to church, anywhere I'm going. There isn't really any color that is out of bounds. But I mean, if there was, if I have to go somewhere where I have to look neutral, I guess this would be the palette for me. So that's the brown shimmer, and that's the lighter brown shimmer. So that's what that looks like. So again, this is 4 mattes and 2 shimmers. So I would guess you put this one in the inner corner, and that will be on the main lead color. I don't tend to do an all matte look because I just find it boring. I have to have shimmer on my lid in one form or the other. Even if I have to use a shade from another palette, then I have to have shimmer. So I saved the best for the last. Since this is not a ranking video, I wanted to show you which is my best Juvias Place palette, and it's the Tribe palette. I love green shades because it just makes my eye pop. I've got brown eyes, so when I use green, I love green, and it's got orange as well. And what makes this palette so special, oh gosh, is those 2 shades. But I'll swatch one of the first one. Just look at that. For all the shimmers in this palette, they are beautiful. Let me swap the orange. Swatch the orange for you. Look at those, especially that green. Oh, beautiful every single time. So beautiful. And then let me swatch the other dark green. And just because it's dark, it doesn't make it less special. Look at that. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. I mean, if you like colorful shades and you just want one palette from Juvias Place, this is the one I will recommend. This is my best palette for one reason or the other. I mean, 2 shades you can get away with, you know, 3 shades, whatever. You can even put all of them on your eyes and you're good to go. I love Juvias Place. They are so affordable, and I would say none of this did I buy on at the original price. I bought them on sales, especially like during Black Friday sales. Oh, that's when I buy my palettes. So I would say never buy them on on normal price. They're always on sales. Also, there are discount codes, like you can use FUMI. FUMI is a code I use all the time, FUMI, and that gives you 10% off. If you're desperate to buy something and you can't wait till sales, then use a discount code. But from time to time, she's always having sales. It makes it so difficult for me to purchase anything on full price. I mean, I never do. And she's also got they've also got different products apart from eyeshadow palette. But I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong when it comes to Juvia's Place. If you want me to do a real ranking, you know, of my top 10, or even rank all of them from beginning to end, then let me know. But those are my Juvia's Place palettes that I have in my collection. I think I'm basically missing 3. The 3 that's just 4. The 3 that's just come out, and then the Wahala palette. I don't like that because I don't really like the name either. So yeah, and I mean that's it on my Juvia's Place collection. Those are all the Juvia's Place palettes I own. Like I said, I've got too many palettes to do all my collection in one go, so I'm just going to break it down, and this is the first one. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel, leave me comments on what you want me to do next, and just give this video a like, and that's how I know that you are liking my content. So guys, stay safe out there and stay happy. Make sure you're keeping yourself happy in all these things that are going on. Try to make sure that you are engaging in other stuff and not thinking too much about the downturn of the economy. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye.